Good morning. These folks up here on this panel are an incredible group of people. Every single one of them holds a Bachelor of Science or a Bachelor of Arts, and then every single one of them holds an advanced degree, whether it's a JD or a master's. So it's a great pleasure to serve on this panel with them. With that said, I'd like to thank everyone for attending. I'd like to thank our conference sponsors. What advice would you give for small business when competing for awards in your particular area?
What we have in the RFP, we work very, very hard in the Office of Science, just like everybody else, to make sure we delineate our needs, and we're fairly specific on those. And there is no real mystery. There's a hard-working group of folks for each procurement that sit down there and look at each of the proposals and go through all of the factors. And we're looking for technical competence, we're looking for experience, past performance, things along those lines.
I think the only thing that I would add to that, and what the previous people have said, is that quality of the RFP response is obviously key, but it maybe embedded in that is making sure there is a match, and that you can clearly articulate that match between what the potential customer is looking for in the skills and expertise or abilities or manufacturing capacity, whatever you can bring to the table. And I think that's what Joe was getting at when sometimes he talked about people not reading the RFP very closely, not responding to it. What I've seen is even going maybe a step backward from that, is making no attempt to show how your skills that you can bring matches what that RFP is looking for, what that customer is looking for.
And those are very
our approach with small business and our laboratories approach is to fill the gaps in many cases and to be a key part of accomplishing that mission. And so to go back to the first question just for a second, when you look at RFPs and things like that, you need to understand what our laboratories do and how it's integrated and how one section of our laboratories functions with another section and how that laboratory actually functions with other laboratories and sites and universities across the United States. So your role as a small business is vital to that, and it allows the laboratory to concentrate on making those big discoveries. And if you have several bidders who are close in technical performance, and then price can become a deciding factor on that. However, at the end of the day, we have to get the best value for the government. And sometimes the cheapest is not the best, because the last thing we want to do is provide a bad product or a bad service to the public.
Your technical and your cost. Now, in our deals, we have full-blown cost proposals, not just for transition or key personnel. It's the full cost of a 5-year deal, a 7-year deal, a 10-year deal. So another very important component is that the technical approach and the cost have to hang together. There's examples out there that I can't give you, because they're source selection information, but I can describe in general where if we graded just the technical approach of proposer A, they would have gotten like an outstanding. But when we looked at the cost component of that technical approach, that their cost component did not provide the dollars to do what they were saying they were going to do. So basically their outstanding got knocked down to maybe a good. And it hurt them. So in these in these traditional procurements that we use, you've got your cost proposal and your technical proposal have to hang together and be totally integrated. So don't just give us a wonderful set of key personnel with a wonderful technical approach and you really understand what we need, and don't price it out properly, or else you'll suffer.
All right, we are out of time. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you very much.